All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, excited for this one.
So today we're talking about generalization,
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
and we've got a micro lecture all queued up
All right, cool.
that breaks it all down for us.
All right, looking forward to it.
So generalization, right?
Yeah.
We hear this word all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So this deep dive, we're really gonna piece apart what it means, how does it work?
Yeah, like how does our brain actually do it
Yeah.
without us even realizing it?
Right.
That's what's so crazy to me.
Yeah, so the source, defines it as
Okay.
basically finding patterns. Like you see
Right.
a bunch of things that have things in common.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I see what's going on here.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then from that, you can create, broader rules.
Like guidelines, yeah.
Yeah, like guidelines. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And they give the example, classic example of you see a bunch of birds flying.
Right.
And you're like, oh, birds can fly.
Yeah, if that's a bird, it flies.
And then you see another bird that's different.
And you're like, oh, all birds must fly.
All birds must fly. Exactly.
Exactly.
But it's so much more than that.
Right.
Right.
It's way more.
And I think that's what
It's just birds.
this deep dive is going to sort of uncover is
Yeah.
it's not just about,
The simple.
birds.
Yeah, it's a
In every
broad-
facet of how we think, it's how we learn new things.
Yeah, we learn new things.
It's how we
Make sense of the world around us.
exactly make sense of the world, how we predict things, how we simplify information.
Yeah,
All this stuff.
absolutely.
Without it.
Without it, it would be chaos.
Yeah. I mean, the source even says that. If we didn't have generalization,
Yeah.
we would constantly be relearning things over and over again.
Yeah, can you imagine?
From scratch. Imagine every door you encountered.
Yeah, like how do I
You have to figure out how to open it.
up in the store? Yeah.
Yeah, because you'd be like, I've never
Never seen this door before in my life.
seen this one before. Yeah.
It's a new door. Every door is a new door.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's
That sounds, I don't like that.
that's a world I don't want to live in.
Near.
I'm good.
I like my generalizations.
Keep my generalizations.
Sweet.
But okay, so the source lays out these 4 ways.
Okay.
The generalization
I'm ready.
really helps us
Hit me with it.
think. So
Okay.
number 1
Uh-huh.
is this idea of extending knowledge. Okay.
Okay, extend it.
So you
Oh,
know
Hey, yeah.
you learn something once.
Yeah.
And then your brain is like, boom, I can apply that in all these different
New situations.
situations. Yeah.
I love that.
So it's like you learn how to drive a car,
Okay.
you get in a different car.
You don't have to relearn how to drive.
You don't have to be like, wait, how do I make this thing go?
How does this work?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like you take those core principles
Yeah.
and you're like, boom, I can now drive.
I can apply them.
Yeah. A truck, a van,
A boat, a plane, maybe not those.
maybe not those. Okay.
Stick to cars for
Stick
now.
to cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get the idea.
I get it.
Okay.
I do.
So that's one way.
That's one.
It's extending knowledge.
Okay, what's number 2?
Okay. So number 2 is predicting outcomes.
Oh, predicting the future.
So this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So, let's say classic example, right? You touch a hot stove,
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
you burn your hand.
Not fun.
Not fun, right? Okay. So your
Alright.
brain is like, okay,
Okay, got it.
hot stove equals pain.
Pain noted.
Right.
Okay.
So the next time you see a hot stove, you don't have to relearn that lesson.
No.
Your brain is like,
don't touch.
danger, danger.
Exactly.
Right. And that's generalization at work. It's like,
So it's like our brains are creating this
it's like
library of experiences.
yeah, exactly. It's like,
And then it's using those experiences.
if this, then that.
Yeah, if I touch this hot thing,
Then this will
then
happen.
my hand will hurt. Don't do it.
Yeah. And it's happening all the time
All the time.
without us even realizing it.
It's amazing.
It's pretty amazing.
We don't care
mean-
about it.
Okay. So we've got extending knowledge. We've got predicting outcomes.
Darren, what else we got?
We've got simplifying information.
Oh, I need this one. My brain's full.
Right. So this is all about taking all this,
Stuff.
yeah, all these details, all this data
Mm-hmm.
and finding
The core.
essence.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
the key takeaway.
The key takeaway. Right. So instead of remembering,
All the capitals of every state.
yeah, all these tiny little details, you can be like,
Okay, well, capitals are usually important cities.
right. Or
It's usually
you can have
like the gist of it.
yeah, just like the broad strokes.
I can work with that.
Right.
Give me the gist.
Yeah. You don't need to remember every single
But you know the detail.
detail.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Especially not for capitals.
And that's what makes it so powerful.
It's efficient.
Yeah, it's efficient.
We need that.
It's like you're decluttering your mental space.
Oh, yeah. Marie Kondo, my brain.
A little bit, a little bit.
Love it.
All right, so we've got extending knowledge, predicting outcomes, simplifying information.
Okay, that's 3. What's the last one?
Okay, the last one, and this is a big one,
Okay, lay it on me.
is forming theories and hypotheses.
Ooh, getting scientific.
So this is where it gets really powerful, because this is how we as humans,
Yeah, make sense of the
you make sense of the universe. We come up with these like
remedy.
grand ideas. Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
Scientists, right? They observe things over and over again.
Patterns.
Patterns. They see these patterns and then they're like,
Uh-huh. I think I see what's happening here.
I think I got it. And then
Maybe this is how it works.
they form a theory, right?
Exactly.
And that's how we get all these incredible
Discoveries and inventions.
discoveries, inventions, all this stuff. It all starts with
generalization.
generalization. Yeah.
Wow, it's kind of a big deal.
It's a big deal.
I didn't realize.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
Okay.
So we've got these 4 ways
So we've got these 4 ways.
that it helps us think.
And this is where, we talk about abstraction.
Oh, yeah. How does that fit in?
So abstraction and generalization, they kind of work together.
They're like a dynamic duo.
They are. They're like best friends.
The brain buddies.
Brain buddies, exactly. So abstraction is all about like
simplifying, right?
yeah, like stripping away
Like getting rid of the details that don't matter
the details that don't matter and like
to find like the core,
the essence. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're taking all those specifics.
like with the birds.
Yeah, like all those like,
The different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, the colors, the beak shapes,
the sizes.
all that stuff. And you're just like,
doesn't matter.
what is the key thing here?
What's the one thing they all have in common?
Yeah, and then you generalize
Boom, generalization.
based on that.
I got it.
So you're like, oh, they can all fly.
They can all fly, I see.
That's the generalization.
Okay, that makes sense.
But there's a little caveat here.
There's always a catch.
Right. So the caveat is
Hey.
not all generalizations are created equal.
Okay.
Right. And this is where we get into overgeneralization.
Overgeneralization. Yeah, that sounds risky.
It could be so overgeneralization is when you take that rule
That you made. Yeah.
and you're like, this applies everywhere.
To everything?
To everything, no matter what.
Oh, that sounds dangerous.
And that's where we get into some
Trouble.
yeah. So like,
Like stereotypes.
stereotypes, prejudices, all that stuff that's like
Based on limited information.
overgeneralization.
Yeah, or like biased information.
Gone wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
So it's like
Like saying all dogs are friendly.
yeah, all dogs are friendly because you've met
I've only met friendly dogs.
5 friendly dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but
But then you meet a dog that's not friendly.
your dog is not friendly and you're like,
Whoa, my generalization was wrong.
my generalization.
All dogs are friendly.
What's wrong, right?
Important lessons.
So we've got to be really careful
Careful with our generalizations.
about that.
Yes.
And the source really emphasizes this idea of like
Aware.
awareness. Yeah.
We have to be aware
We got to be aware
of the generalizations we're
the
making.
generalizations we're making, like where they're coming from.
Yeah, like why do I think this?
Why do we think this? And also like,
Like, are they always true?
what are the limitations?
Yeah, because they might not be.
They might not be.
We have to be ready to adjust.
We have to be ready to adjust. Be like, okay,
Okay, maybe this isn't always the case.
this doesn't apply here, you know?
Right.
Because the world is complex.
The world is messy.
The world is messy, yeah.
Generalizations help us simplify it,
They do.
but we can't oversimplify it.
But we can't oversimplify it.
Because then we miss out on all the nuances.
Exactly. And I think that's the key takeaway here.
I think so too.
Is that generalization is this incredibly powerful tool.
It is.
It helps us learn.
It helps us predict things.
It helps us make sense of the world.
Simplify information.
Mm.
We got to be careful with it.
We got to be careful.
I got to be aware.
We got to be aware, and we got to be willing to
adjust.
yeah.
When we're wrong.
When we're wrong.
Then we will be sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's inevitable.
So, I don't know, like for me, this whole deep dive has really made me think about
Me too.
all the generalizations I make
Yeah, like I'm thinking back on my day
on a daily basis and like,
and all the generalizations I've probably made
and how many of them are like
without even realizing it.
actually true, you know,
And how many of them might be
or if I'm just like,
leading me astray.
yeah, kind of like stuck in my ways, you know,
Yeah, it's a good reminder to
not really like
challenge our assumptions
challenging
about the world
Yeah.
and be open to new information.
Assumptions, right.
Exactly.
So I think that's like,
That's a good takeaway for our listeners too.
that's a good thing for everybody to think about.
Yeah.
Like, What are some generalizations that you've made?
Yeah, and how are they affecting your
Well,
life, your decisions?
maybe aren't totally accurate, you know?
Yeah, or your interactions with other people.
Yeah.
Like, how are your generalizations about certain groups of people
Right.
maybe leading you to make unfair judgments?
Yeah, and how can we
Inaccurate judgments.
how can we be more mindful
Yeah.
of those and like
Sure.
more aware, and really challenge those.
Challenge those assumptions.
I think that's a great place to leave it.
I think so too. So that wraps up our deep dive on generalization.
Thanks for diving in with us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time
See you later.
for another deep dive.
Bye.
Bye.